Welcome. In this session, we're going to tackle some challenges for bringing a camera into your home office. Namely, those are going to include a heavy emphasis on lighting, audio video hardware. There are good choices to make here. The stock backgrounds in Zoom and Teams, and creating virtual images and avatars for a little bit of fun. All good choices. Your presenter today is me, Mark Chamberlain, with T&E Campus. There's my email address, mchamberlain@tbr.edu. If you have questions or want to know more about some of the things we talked about today, feel free to reach out to me. I am also a lifelong fan of The Price is Right, and it's still on my bucket list. Or is it? Maybe I'm really there. Or maybe that's just a Zoom background. At any rate, just a few samples of things that we have to come. So let's just jump right in. So why is this topic important? It's really important for a lot of reasons. Number one, a lot of people are camera shy, they're recording shy, they just not sure if they're ready, and it's just, also there are certainly going to be some visual and auditory gaps if you don't have the equipment set up right and the features are not turned on as they should to get the best view and sound for you. You want to get ahead of the previous problems for sure, because there are always going to be some flaky technology problems, things that just have to be fixed on the fly, or you didn't realize it was doing this. I'll talk a little bit about audio in a few minutes, but we had a session recorded that the sound just did not record well. The speaker's voice, for example. If we've accounted for everything else, then we can kind of work around some of the other problems, but there's certainly some issues that we want to be ahead of. But here's the real answer. It's the reality of your and my home studio office. Does this look familiar? Can you relate? Have you seen other people's home offices and thought, wow, I hate to think that I'd be recording from home in that circumstance? There is an upside to this particular studio, and I'll talk about it later. Keep in mind, we don't all have this home studio. This is not our workspace for so many people. It can be yours. You don't have to have any college hunks to haul off any junk. You can make a choice in what you want to share and what you want to show. So let's talk about lighting. Lighting could be really the single biggest issue. It's the thing I notice about a lot of people that are online, just not even the presenters, just the people that are joining these sessions. And then they start talking or share something, and they're difficult to see. Things are just real fuzzy. For about $60, if you can swing it, the Lume Cube is one of the most highly reviewed. This is what it looks like from the backside, actually. This is a suction cup, and that suction cup just snaps on to the back of your monitor, your laptop, or whatever. This pivots. But the thing that's really great about the Lume Cube is that you have control about how much light present here. The first image down here at the bottom is not bad. I've certainly seen worse, but this person's face is a little bit hidden. Their hair seems really dark. Color of their clothing probably isn't totally realistic. On the other hand, the after picture, I honestly think, is a little too much. I don't want to be so washed out that everything just seems kind of blown away. But at the same time, notice there's no shadows on her face. You've got some control. In the Lume Cube, you literally can adjust from very low light to very bright light, and even very white light to a softer glow. $60 sounds like a lot. The Wellen selfie ring rings in at $8, but I will say results vary. For example, right now I have the selfie ring on my computer, and I will turn it on. And you saw right away, of course, my hand covered it a little bit of an improvement, a little more, and even better still. And so this is the maximum setting. And I'm in an office where I have a really large window that's providing a lot of light over here. And you can tell that's the brighter side of my face. But I also have a lamp over here, and I have the selfie ring. So if I turn all this off, suddenly you see a lot of shadow and a lot of bright, and which is kind of what we saw up here. So if you want to balance things out, and I recommend that you do, consider some of those options. For example, this office looks like a beautiful, well-lit, natural light office. This is a disaster for recording. Those shears don't do anything to stifle the sun. Just isn't stymied by that. And that kind of bold, natural light, even on a cloudy day, can completely wash you out. My rather large window, I have blinds, and I literally have adjusted the blinds before we came on here today to kind of give me some light to kind of brighten things up. And here goes my selfie ring again. By the way, I was going to show that to you. It's really very simple. It's got these adjustable settings. It clips on to something that's not real wide, like a monitor or a laptop, and then you can just put it up here. I will say one thing though, of course, when you look up at it and you wear glasses, you're going to get these little ring reflections. So if you're a person that doesn't wear glasses, this is even a better option for you. The other thing is you can kind of move that thing around a little bit, left, right, wherever you might want it, or even off to the side. Maybe you need more support over there. And here, let me try the other side. Kind of get in around my collar. Maybe I need a little more light. Might even turn my monitor a little bit. So there are a lot of options there. All that to say, you've got some choice and controls in how you manage light. Now, obviously, if you're recording after dark, your big window probably doesn't make any difference. But then again, the light in your room, for example, my office light is really very weak all the way around. I've got some lamps and things, but I don't have strong light after dark. One fun thing that you can do with that though is you can take something like your selfie ring, turn all the other lights out, and then you have the infinite black behind you. Just whatever's illuminated by the light will show. Natural light is a good thing if it's in front of you, to both sides of you. It's a disaster if it's behind you or more on one side than it is the other. So watch for that circumstance. A simple lamp can make a great difference. Again, let me demo this. So there's my face. I turn that light off and wow, there's a big shadow on this side. Just with a simple lamp, light bulb, and a shade, I get a big boost. And of course, I already have the lamp, so there's no additional cost. There are some internal controls specifically in Zoom that allow you to kind of do a little color correction. So, in the microphone, no doubt your computer probably has a microphone built right into it. Your laptop, your phone, almost all modern devices have cameras and microphones, zoom lenses, and all sorts of things. But that microphone is probably designed to pick up all the sound around it. If you were in a meeting and you wanted one microphone to capture everything, everyone talking, that's what you would get. And the downside of that is when you're doing a webinar or joining a virtual meeting, you're picking up all the sounds of the room. You're picking up all the sounds outside. Occasionally, you will hear a small dog barking in my house. But I do have this headset. And so that's what I'm going to say is recommend a dedicated microphone. And I'm using a headset with a boom microphone. It's also a noise canceling microphone. You may not hear it, but I have a small area air conditioner running right now. The microphone is likely either eliminating or greatly reducing that sound. Whether it's a lapel mic or even your earbuds that have the microphone built in, like that little microphone or that lapel mic will give you much better sound. I was giving the example earlier of one of our other sessions, and the presenter was just using his laptop. That sound was actually very harsh. The sound would sort of spike. It wasn't ideal for a lot of reasons, and it was also difficult to correct for. You just really had to turn down the volume a bit to get that. But with a dedicated microphone, you'll do much better. So all that's just some foundation work. Say, hey, a few easy steps can make a big difference in your recording. You're already starting to see some example of Zoom and Teams where they offer some custom and stock image options. Zoom does offer some additional fun, some additional fun features. And then there are third-party products that really take fun to the next level in avatars that you can custom design yourself. I'm just going to give you a sample of what that does. That you could spend a lot more time working through all the details on that, but it's certainly doable, and you can do this. So let's take a look at Teams and Zoom. Okay, when I opened this meeting for this recording, I had the option to turn on the camera and choose background filters. You could do that right from the get-go, or when the meeting's open, you can go up here to the triple dot ellipsis menu, open the menu, and choose apply background effects. Same thing, and either one will get you to the same place. In that case, it's going to open up something that looks like this. Some very realistic and some fantasy options that you can choose. For example, I like using this one. In fact, just make a quick switch just to show you. Choose that background. And again, this is one of my favorites. It's a lot like the one we were looking at in the image. So I've got a little window, I've got a mirror, and a nice clean wall behind me. It looks great. I could choose one of these others, a little more urban setting, or I could take myself all the way to Mars. That's what Mars looks like. Become a classroom teacher again and have a chalkboard and desks. And, on a colorful day, you got balloons galore here. So you've got a lot of different options that you can choose. Sometimes I also like to get away to the coast, and that looks like a lot of fun right there. Oh yeah, there's the wave rider. You also can have custom backgrounds, and I will give you a little heads up. When you add custom backgrounds with words on them, they look like they're backwards to you, but they look normal to the folks viewing the presentation. How I got this background is I went up to add new. At any rate, you will add a new background and basically just another image. It's been so hot lately. Let's cool things down. So this was the add new, or you could choose to have no background at all. And in that case, it's just going to be whatever's behind you. I also do love to talk about the blur feature. Really good choice. You look very clear. The background looks very blurry. So whatever's behind you, people probably won't even know what it is, much less understand the detail there. But I will tell you that's one feature, though, that really depends on that good lighting. Lighting to your left, lighting to your right, lighting in the front, not the back. If you have a strong light source, the blurring will wash in and out. Part of your face may just sort of disappear into the blur. If you're a Star Trek fan, you're being dematerialized. So just be aware of that. And honestly, it's a good idea to try some of these out. Another thing is that if your background looks a lot like your colors, for example, my dark shirt, if I was in a really dark room, might throw things off too. You might want to mix and match a few of these to get the optimal look. And just like choosing the snowy scene here, sometimes it's just a matter of choice. It's just a preference thing. Some days I feel more like this. Either way, whatever works for you. I'm sorry, I can't stop clicking. Just want to go to different places. There we go. Alpine Forest. Moving on to Zoom. It is pretty similar. You may need to make some setting changes when you get into to Zoom. It's not entirely true, but if you do, from your profile to the settings, and then just scroll down until you get to virtual background, turn it on if it's toggled off. Same with video filters. That's the word I was looking for earlier. If not, and then this is where it's a lot like Teams. This little menu button down here next to the video camera pops up, a little sub menu, and you can choose virtual backgrounds or video filters. Zoom offers a blur feature. You can, and whether you choose virtual backgrounds or video filters, or you can add your own image or even a video. If you have a short video that could play on a loop, then you could add that video and it would just play in the background behind you. So the seashore thing, if the waves are rolling in and you've got a 20-second clip of that, you can have waves and wind just constantly behind you while you're doing your presentation. And the Zoom filters. If you click on filters, you will see a whole list of things like eyes and ears and noses and that sort of thing. Try them all. They're fun and very enjoyable, but I will say probably not for professional activities, especially not job interviews and things like that, unless, of course, you're trying out for a video filter designing job or something like that. But I think I do look good with the cheetah face there, and I tried a few others before I snapped that image. But if you want more fun, you want an avatar. And Bitmoji is one of the providers that I've taken advantage of. You can access Bitmoji from the web, but Bitmoji likes to operate from your phone. So you'll be downloading and installing an app, Bitmoji.com, or you can find this at Bitmoji.com, but you go to your store, Apple, Google, or wherever, and download the Bitmoji app. You start by taking a base picture, and it gives a rough idea of what you look like. Um, and then from there, you get to select hair, skin, glasses, and more. So there goes the bark, and we're just going to ignore that. And of course, that means the sky really is the limit. Let me show you one other thing, though. Here we go. This is readyplayer.me/avatar, and I took a base picture, and I have since added my glasses, my hair, and my approximate face shape. I could add a little facial hair, and if I were going to do that, I would probably try that one on. Oh, yes, that looks great. But if that wasn't the one for me, I could also round it out a little bit. And yeah, I think that's probably one of my faves. I'm not going to go change that too much. Back to the hair department, you can choose any of these hairstyles regardless. And I was trying to go for the realistic look, but you certainly can choose any hairstyle you want. I could choose this one. Reminds me of my nephew. So there are any number of choices there. Your eye color, lots of different options, eyebrows, glasses. If you want to go to the fantasy route, you've got all sorts of options there as well. And don't forget, you're just not dressed without a hat. And I'm going to try that one on. Oh no. No, I don't like that either. Let's see here. That looks like a lampshade. You just put on a blue ball cap. Oh, that doesn't look right either. Well, this guy's colorful. I don't know why the hats don't. All right, well, we will ditch the hat. And that's the fun thing about it. You can change any of it. From there, it will prepare your avatar. You have to wait a moment. And there we are. Boy, that almost looks like me, doesn't it? And so you can still go back and do some customizing. There certainly, and be careful of this. You literally can spend money on this stuff too. So um, make well-informed decisions to do this. And I was looking for the download. Share, and then here you could download your image, and you could paste that in different places or use it in other ways. The Bitmoji has an extension for Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge, and you can then utilize that within those programs and for different things that you're doing. So, and that fine. And there we go. There, your avatar is ready to use wherever you need it. And I've probably stopped showing you the wrong one. Well, at any rate, you get the idea. Well, that is a lot of information about getting ready for backgrounds and presenting yourself, and a little bit of information on how to do some of those things. If you still have questions or you're you feel confused about any of these steps along the way, I'd be glad to open a little dialogue and try to get you moving in the right direction. But hopefully you've found some things that will help you present a better image, get better sound quality, and give you some customizing options beyond your actual office or slash studio. Thank you.